Hello, and welcome to another power-packed Phillips podcast. It's going to be huge, Caroline, huge. Guys, as our teams left in the playoff hunt continue their progress towards hopefully what they think is a trip to the Super Bowl, we are going to continue to get ready for the FCAT in April. And we're going to start a new podcast series. And just want to let you know, the purpose of this podcast series is not to waste paper and kill trees. And the purpose of this podcast series is not to give you just another test. The purpose of this podcast series is to help you get ready for the FCAT in April so you can be successful. Because otherwise we have epic fail.
Oh my gosh!
You should have a packet in front of you. You can write on this packet. So I'm going to ask on the front page where it says name and it has a line, if you would, please take a minute, write your first and last name on the front of your packet with a pencil. Now, let's get started. We are going to skip around the packet, so we're not going to do them sequentially. Nice vocabulary, bears. Or we're not going to do the problems in order. So if you would, please turn in your packet to problem number 3. If you would, I'm asking you to take a minute to read problem number 3 and think of a stoplight. For those of you that had the crazy math teacher in 6th grade, this is going to be a blast from the past. Because I'm going to tell you on the FCAT, the first thing you need to do is red light, stop, and read the problem. So guys, please take a minute to stop and read problem number 3. After you stop, red light, and read the problem on the FCAT, I'm going to ask that you yellow light, slow down, underline, circle important information. So if you would, you can write on your packet once again, please underline triangle DEC is similar to triangle CAB and congruent to triangle AFG. If you'd like to, you can also circle important information because that's what I want you to get in the habit to doing on the FCAT. On your paper, if you would, also underline the question. What is the length in feet of segment EC? Or you can circle important information. Length in feet FT of segment EC. We've done red light, stop, read the problem. Yellow light, slow down, underline, circle, box, important information. Now we're going to do green light. Green light says we are going to work the problem. So what do we know in this problem? If you take a look at your paper, we have triangle DEC, DEC, that's our triangle here in red, is similar to triangle CAB, CAB. So my red triangle is similar to my blue triangle. Remember, similar means they're the same shape, but different sizes. They also tell me in the problem, triangle DEC, the red triangle here, is congruent to triangle AFG. AFG. Congruent means same shape, same size. So if I took this triangle, did a rotation, you should be able to see that these two red triangles are congruent. Same shape, same size. Key word in the problem. Triangle DEC is similar to triangle CAB. Since the shapes are similar, I can set up a proportion. So remember, on the FCAT, when you see similar, chances are they're asking you to set up a proportion. On your paper, please draw a small triangle that is similar to a larger triangle. So on your paper, please draw a small triangle and a larger triangle. And then on your paper, we're going to make the bottom of the red triangle 2 feet. We're going to make the bottom of the blue triangle 4 feet. We're going to make the side of the blue triangle 5 feet. And I'm going to go back and read the question. What is the length in feet of segment EC? So if we come back up here and look at our picture, here's E, here's C. This is the side they're asking me to find. So we're going to call this side X. So if you would, on your picture, label the red triangle side X. You can set up the proportion several different ways. Your choice. Lots of different ways you can monkey around with this problem. Alright guys, there's lots of different ways. Again, you can set the proportion. I'm going to set it up 2 different ways. Maybe it's a way that you pick, maybe it's a way that you don't, but as long as we get the same answer, that's all that matters. So take a look at the screen. I'm going to do the side of triangle 1, which I'm going to call X, to the bottom of triangle 1, which is 2 feet. Then over here, I'm going to say the side of triangle 2 to the bottom of triangle 2. That is one way to set up a proportion. I'll show you one more way. Alright guys, here's another way that you could set up a proportion for this problem. This time I'm going to do triangle 1 side, so that's going to be X, over triangle 2 side. Triangle 2 side is going to be 5 feet. So basically I did side to side. Now I'm going to go back to triangle 1 and do bottom to bottom. Bottom of triangle 1 is 2 feet. The bottom of triangle 2 is 4 feet. Again, lots of different ways to set up the proportion. You don't necessarily have to set it up either of these ways. You pick the way that's easiest for you. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and solve this proportion here. If that's the way you did it, great, solve it on your paper. If not, we should get the same answer. To solve a proportion, I'm going to cross multiply. 5 times 2 is going to give me 10. I've used this number, I've used this number. The only number I have not used is 4. So I'm going to divide by 4. So that means I'm going to do 10 divided by 4. Handy dandy calculator, 10 divided by 4, bada bing, bada boom, it's going to give me 2.5. X is going to equal 2.5. Now, last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to check my answer, and you should check your answer. How can you check your answer? Easy pleasy. We said that X is 2.5, so I'm going to substitute, plug and chug, 2.5 in for X. And I will cross multiply this way. So I have calculator 2.5 times 4. 2.5 times 4 gives me 10. Remember when I did 5 times 2, that also gave me 10. If your proportion is solved correctly, both of these numbers will be the same. They will be equal to each other. So there's a way to check your answer. If you guys would, I'm going to ask that you turn back to the front of your packet that you wrote your name on. And that was problem number 3. So I would like you to grid in your answer for problem number 3 on the front of your packet. You have two choices. We said the answer was 2.5. One way is you can put a 2, a decimal, and a 5. Don't forget to bubble in the 2, the decimal, and the 5. Notice that I put my answer, my decimal, right next to the grid part that has the negative. I didn't put it in the negative column, I put it right up next to it. The other way that you could grid your answer is you could put your answer all the way over to the right so that the 5 is touching this last column. That is also a correct answer. If you do it that way, again, just make sure you bubble in the 2, the decimal, and the 5. Both choices are correct. Hopefully you understand both ways to grid an answer. Alright guys, if you would, I'm going to ask that you return your iPod to the case so I can charge it for next class, and then I'm going to ask that you bring your packet up to the counter, and we're going to keep it on the counter so that the next time we have a problem to do, I can just grab it off the counter and hand it to you. Alright, thanks guys. Bye.